Hey YouTube, well, let's try take number 27. Sure seems like it every time I do something. Either I mess up or my fire radio goes off. And as you can tell, I'm into the fire department. Anyway, a couple guns I got out of the safe to share was guns I got from my dad. This one I inherited, and this is the Colt. See if I can get it to focus. There it goes. The Colt official police 38 special. 5-inch barrel. Obviously it needs some work on it. It had been sitting in the case for years and years and years and had some rust on it. It needs to be refinished and reblued. This is the Colt 38 special official police model. Just make sure it's unloaded. I do have dummy round snap caps in there just to protect the firing pin. You can see they've been hammered on a few times. Something I found out here on YouTube the other day, that these Colts rotate in a clockwise manner, where Smith and a lot of the other they rotate counterclockwise. I didn't know that. Never paid attention to that. But this was the no frills, get the job done, back in the day duty weapon that a lot of police officers carried near holsters on their belts. That was before Smith & Wesson came in, and all the departments started going to Smiths and pretty much knocked the Colt out. But this was the daddy. A lot of criminals would look down the barrel of that sucker. This belonged to my grandfather, who worked security. When he died, it was passed to my dad, and my dad worked security and he carried it. I remember shooting this as a kid, and Dad always telling me that when he passed away that this was going to be mine. And in July, my mom had me find the case, and sorry, Mom had me find the case and get it out and bring it home. And my dad was my hero. But that's when reality hit me. It was when this was coming home with me when my dad died. So, but that'll be passed down to my son, my oldest one, when I go. Hopefully it'll continue being passed down through the family heirloom now. This gun was manufactured in 1944. It was the year my dad was born, the year my mom was born. And this gun is 73 years old. So that's the Colt 38, or Colt official police 38 special. Something else that he had when I was a kid was that baby, the Winchester 30 caliber M1 carbine, or carbine, however which way you want to say it. I prefer to call it the carbine, but the military calls it the U.S. carbine caliber 30 M1. You see it is unloaded, no magazine in it. Stock's in real good shape, other than the inlays my dad put in it when he was in his 20s. I've thought about having another stock put on it, but for sentimental reasons I can't do it. That's the way Dad made it, and that's the way it's going to stay. Back here you have your oiler. That's the original oiler for it. It's dry. There's no oil in it. And the stock, or the sling, that sling was on there when I was a kid. I'm 54 years old, and that sling is in great shape. There's no mildew, there's no deterioration on it. It's in real good shape. Your classic Winchester, your classic hold open for your bolt. That pin Let me pause this while the fire department goes out again. Okay, sorry about that. But that's how you hold it open. Pull the slide back, or pull the charging handle back and push the pin down, and it locks the bolt open. Barrel needs reblued. You see the bayonet lug for it. Dad didn't have a bayonet. But it's, I remember shooting that as a kid also. Very, very little kick. Just a shade more kick than a 22, and you know a 22 doesn't have any kick to it. Dad had two loves in his life. My mom and this baby right here. The Springfield M1 Garand, or Garand. I prefer to call it the Garand. But this was made in 1942 also, according to the serial number. It is unloaded. Nothing down in the magazine. That is the magazine there. The Garand, if you didn't know, takes an end-block clip. And there's the clip. 8 round. That's a clip. And that's a magazine. So there is a difference. If you want to call it a difference. A lot of people get upset when you call a magazine a clip, but that is the end block clip. And when they're empty, that spring steel makes a distinctive ping when it comes out, when it's ejected out of the gun. And a lot of guys have lost their lives because of that ping. The enemy learned that when they heard that sound that the gun was empty, and soldiers finally adapted to that, they started carrying empty clips. And when they were pinned down, they would take an empty clip and throw it on the ground so it made that ping. And when the enemy jumped up, they busted their ass. So here's your safety. If I had a tripod I could put my phone on, I could break it down for you real quick. But you know, I'm not going to waste your time and mine going through a lot of particulars. There's 100 videos on YouTube for the Garand and the Carbine, and a few of them on the 38. So I'm not going to waste your time and mine. I just wanted to share these with you. Got them out of the safe. I went and bought a safe to put these in, and my shotguns. Keep them from being stolen, or God forbid my house catch on fire. Got a nice, heavy, fireproof safe, rated for an hour at 1200 degrees. And being a firefighter, you know, back in the day when we were growing up, houses would last an hour. You had a room on fire, 20 minutes later when the fire department was there, that room was still on fire, but the rest of the house was still standing. Today, 20 minutes, your house is on the ground. So I bought a safe for it to keep them from getting stolen and keep them from getting burned up. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you. The rifles I paid my mom $2,500 for, $2,000 for the Garand, $500 for the Carbine. I caught hell trying to get those two rifles. People in the family thought that I was going to take them and sell them and make money myself, which that's not the case. Those are family heirlooms now. She talked to one guy on the phone to find out how much the Garand was worth, and obviously he's thinking, okay, I'm talking to a woman that don't know what she's talking about. I hope she's stupid. Finds out my dad's passed away. I know she's stupid now, and he told her that he sold a Garand for $8,500, and dollar signs flashed in her eyes, and she thought she'd get $8,500 out of it. Anybody that knows business knows that, you know, it's buy cheap, sell high. He probably only give her $1,500, $2,000 maybe for the Garand. You know, all the Carbine, it's only worth $100. You know, and then turn around and put a new stock on it and sell the thing for $800 or $1,000. Maybe get $2,500 out of the Garand. But I caught hell trying to talk her into selling them to me, and I finally got them. So now they're family heirlooms. The 38's going to go to my oldest son. The Carbine's going to go to my middle son, and the Garand is going to go to my youngest son. So, but anyway, I wanted to share those with you. That's about all I got for tonight. You have a good Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you later.